everybody, welcome to DraftKings. Yes, my name is Taron Atkins, and this is week 3 of the English Premier League. And this is our wonderful little sideshow. This is the chooser, the loser, and the hidden gem. That's where I asked my wonderful panel here, who's the guy to really look out for, who's someone to avoid, and who's someone who could be like a little bit of a budget mastermind. So let's start off with Jamie. Jamie, who is your chooser this week? Who should all our DraftKings fans be looking out for?
Diego Costa, 8,700. Scored in 2 straight games. That's going to continue here against Burnley, and I think he's going to start rekindling that really good partnership with Cesc Fabregas from a couple of years ago.
And I, as a Chelsea fan, certainly hope that's the case. Edo, who is your chooser, my friend?
As Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I think we're all in agreement on how good he's been so far, and the fact that he's even dominated really strong defenders like tall ones. They managed to basically do over Font against Southampton. So I think that Hull City have actually been very impressive. But will they be able to stop him? I don't think so.
Very, very good point. He is scaring defenders lifeless at the moment.
Really.
Who's going to be the player to stand up to him? We'll find out down the road. Andy, who's your chooser?
Andros Townsend.
Wow.
I never thought I'd say it
No.
in my lifetime that Andros Townsend's my chooser. But yeah, you can't not pick him. He's just scoring loads and loads of points for fun. And he, like I said earlier, he has not won a game, he hasn't scored a goal, he hasn't got an assist yet, and he's still averaging 20 points a game. This weekend could all change. He could score 2. Imagine the points he'd get then.
He does.
Ronaldo-esque.
You do. It's true. He plays with this reckless abandon of an educationally challenged child. He just runs and runs and runs and just amasses all these points.
He's the ADHD footballer.
He is. He really is, because it doesn't result in any goals or assists or indeed actual points for Crystal Palace. But for DraftKings, phenomenal. Right, who's our loser?
He is a loser. This is Odion Ighalo, Watford, 7,400. He's too expensive for you to pick for someone that never scores any goals. He had a good spell for half a season in the Premier League and then did nothing. 2 points, 4 points have been his 2 weeks so far, which is atrocious. I just think there's very little points if he doesn't score a goal, which means he'll probably score a hat-trick this week. But, don't pick him.
Against Arsenal, I find it unlikely myself, but to call a player pointless, ouch. Edo, who is your loser? Who should we avoid?
I was going to say, because life must be hard for you for DraftKings, because a lot of these DraftKings values are former Tottenham disappointments. So it's like, there's the DeAndre Yedlins, and Norton even is a star now, he's our boy. Okay, no, this is a loser though, Jermaine Defoe, because he has been trash so far, and you would think he was a value pick. Don't go for it. And I'm wondering actually, how old is Defoe?
33.
That is the kind of age where, you're an old, goal scorer.
Veteran.
You can just, veteran. You'll score more goals than people expect you to. People like that do fall off cliffs sometimes. They just go like, and I think, he's been awful so far. Sunderland are awful. I'm choosing.
Right, so Defoe to be Lemming-like, and his career is in a downward.
Not necessarily his career, but you can have these seasons where you just don't contribute anything. I mean, you could then move to another team and then start all over, but...
I really want the David Moyes project to work, and if it does work, it's going to rely. I know, I love that. David Moyes experience. It's going to depend on players like Jermaine Defoe turning it on. Hopefully he does, but we'll see. Yeah. Edo says avoid. Andy, who's your loser?
Jamie Vardy. He's just too expensive for what he's offering out at the moment. Is he averaging less than 4 a game?
I think it is, yeah.
The most significant thing he's done this season is punch himself in the face.
He did do that.
He did that
He
well.
did do that. He punched himself in the face. We found this with him last season as well. He was a streaky player. He scored bundles of goals in the first half, then did next to nothing in the second half as Leicester kind of clawed the title out with a succession of 1-0 wins. And he seems to be going through that kind of ineffective spell. I'm not suggesting it's going to last. He's probably going to be really ineffective till about October, November, then go on another streak. But
I think
he's not a kind of goal every other game kind of centre forward. Like he's like a goal every game for 12.
So he either breaks a record
none,
or
breaks a record or then sets a new one for being going the most games without a goal.
I think it's dangerous ground simply because they're at home. He is due a goal and he's playing against Swansea, who have not been too great thus far.
Dangerous ground.
You're in dangerous ground. You're stony ground there, Andy. Right, let's move back to Edo now. Who's your gem? Who's the wonderkind, the guy we should be looking out for who doesn't necessarily jump out the headlines?
I really hope he starts because this would help, but he's been good off the bench anyway. Jefferson Montero of Swansea. Leicester did struggle against the winger. That was Snodgrass, Hull City, match day 1. He's been putting a lot of crosses in. He's been very active. He kind of revamped them in the game against Burnley where they didn't look very effective until he came on, and all of a sudden they created 2 really dangerous chances and then the goal, all coming from the left. So this is a possibility as someone who's worth it because he still is only going to cost you in the lower 5,000s. That's also because he's just not guaranteed a starting spot. But yeah,
He annoys me, Jefferson Montero, because
He annoys
he's
me
one of them.
too.
No, he
Oh,
does,
yeah,
because
yeah,
he
yeah.
always plays well against Chelsea, but rarely against everyone else. But I would love it if he walked in this studio right now and he just said, "My name isn't Jefferson Montero. My mates call me Jeff," and that's it.
Eduardo, you're full of.
Andy, who's your gem this week?
I'm going to go. It's a toss-up between Nathan Redmond and Kevin Morales. I'll let them fight it out themselves. One of those two. Let's go for Kevin Morales. Nathan Redmond, he was my gem a couple of weeks ago. I said earlier, Koeman. I think Koeman's going to do really well at Everton. I think he's going to. He's got the makers of a really good team there. I mean, he said they're only 70% fit against Spurs the other week. They looked it. They're looking fitter. They got a good win last week. And yeah, Morales, if he's the kind of player, if you play to his strengths, he's going to do really well for you. He's going to score you lots of points, and that seems to be what Koeman's doing. He's an intelligent manager. I can't remember the name of the last fella they had there, but just didn't seem to be able to get the best out of him.
Belgium manager.
Yeah, the guy is now the Belgian manager. I mean, what a piece of mental appointment that was. Get rid of the Belgian
Sack the board.
Roberto Martinez and just employ Roberto. Real Roberto. So yeah, Kevin Morales for me.
Interesting you say that because Romelu Lukaku has confirmed that he's going to stay another year.
Yeah.
And so
Because
I think
everyone was
he
after
could be
him,
a
weren't
hidden gem. I reckon he could be a gem this week. But finally, the man who knows, Jamie Hinks, who's the gem? Who's the kid? The
We're
budget
talking-
choice we can look for.
Andy was talking about if you play to Morales' strengths, he'll do well. Another player, play to his strengths, he'll do well. Christian Benteke.
Oh,
Hidden gem this week.
he plays for
because-
Liverpool, right?
Well, funny you should say that. He's actually South London record transfer.
He is indeed.
I think I'm pretty confident he'll score a goal this week. I think if we're selling all of our wingers, we're kind of setting it all up to lump it up to Benteke and let him do the rest. And you know what? Villa did that for
He did.
2 or 3 seasons, and he did very well there. So
Yes.
if that's what we're going to do, I'm not going to say it will save us from relegation, but he'll score goals, which we didn't do last season. We haven't done yet this season. It's a good signing, and I think he's a good player to have in your lineup this week, just because you've got your Townsend, Kabay, and whoever else is playing, and those two alone have got good delivery on them, and Kabay could get an assist on a Benteke goal.
I think it's a canny shout. I think Palace will, personally, I do actually think Palace will beat Bournemouth this week, and Benteke should be a worthy star of the show. We'll see. Anyway, that's our choosers, our losers, our hidden gems. What are yours? Hey, it's up to you. Just take a look at the available players, pick an 8-man roster with DraftKings. That's right. Welcome to the big time.